Hi, welcome to Literary Folktales and Fairy Tales. In this unit, Unit 1, the learning objectives are to understand the different elements of the folktale and the fairy tale, to learn the morphology of the genre, to grasp the classification system used by scholars that comprise the folktales and fairy tales, and to begin to read academic prose on the topic. So this is a background section, if you will. And in this section of the course, you'll be examining the formal underpinnings of the study of the folktale and the fairy tale, so that it grounds the material that we're looking at, the fairy tales and the folktales, it grounds them within a larger scholarly and academic context to give it the weight that it really deserves. You'll begin in this unit to familiarize yourselves with the background and the evolution of the folktale and the fairy tale. You'll also begin to grapple with the academic prose in the form of Vladimir Prop's Morphology of the Folktale. This is quite a dense academic piece of writing. However, you are only reading a section of it, and you will have plenty of time to work with that text and indeed apply that text to the study of the fairy tales and the folk tales in this course. You're also going to be looking at the Arne Thompson-Utter classification system that is used by scholars, indeed created by scholars and used by scholars, to study analogues to the tales. What does that mean? Basically, it means that for some unknown reason, as with many things historically speaking, you will find that a tale exists not only in Western culture, but perhaps in Asian culture or even African culture. And they're very similar. They may not be identical, but there are similarities, and yet they do not derive from one another. They seem to have been created from within their own culture, right? Their homogeneous culture. So scholars are attempting to sort of catalog these tales to see where there are similarities, where there are differences, to better understand the genre itself. So, for example, you could look at Little Red Riding Hood, who is, in some readings, a trickster character. Now, this trickster character may appear in African folktales, but there probably wouldn't be a Little Red Riding Hood character. It might be a monkey, or it might be some other animal that is indigenous to that area of the world. Likewise, you could find a similar trickster figure in Chinese culture, and it might be a snake, it might be some other animal. And so what these three tales have in common is they have trickster figures, and the tale functions structurally the same way, even though the characters might be different and the moral or the lesson, if you will, might be different. And so that's where the morphology of the folktale comes in. We start to look at how to break down tales into their constituent parts across the world. And I think this makes for a better way of coming to terms with the fairy tales. So that's pretty much it for Module 1. Good luck, and I hope you have a great semester.